What's happening around the world?
And what's happening here at home? You're watching Primetime News on TV1, bringing you the news tonight. I'm Shalan Ratnavira.
And I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's take a look at your headlines for tonight.
The headlines on Newsfirst.
Iran-US talks begin in Switzerland. 32 people killed in Lebanon with hours of Israeli attacks. Sri Lanka's export revenue increases by 6% amidst a global economic crisis. Corrupt factions who have lost power harbor hatred toward the government. Haduneti says speaking at National Student Heroes Day commemoration. Court of Appeal grants permission to auction mortgaged properties of Daya Group of companies. 681 dengue patients reported within 24 hours. Patient capacity exceeded in several hospitals.
Direct talks between the US and Iran have begun in Switzerland despite the Iranian military saying it has closed the Strait of Hormuz again over Israel's attack on southern Lebanon.
We have Omitra Bekon to bring us the latest on this.
Yes, Shalini and Sandaru. Now moving on to the latest development from the Middle East. High-stakes talks between the US and Iran, mediated by Pakistan and Qatar, are underway in Switzerland. As US Vice President J.D. Vance greeted dignitaries in the mountain resort of Bergenstock, he said the US is willing to, quote-unquote, fundamentally transform relations with Tehran. Solidifying a ceasefire in Lebanon and Iran's nuclear program are among the top priorities for today's meetings as both nations seek a durable end to their war. Now, the US and Iran had agreed to a 60-day ceasefire for the negotiations, but Tehran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said they declared the Strait of Hormuz shut in response to Israeli strikes in Lebanon, although the US military said commercial vessels kept operating. Let's now take a look at the latest developments.
Peace negotiations between the US and Iran are currently underway in the Swiss town of Bergenstock. The US delegation, led by Vice President J.D. Vance, includes Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law Jared Kushner. The delegation arrived in Switzerland early this morning. Speaking to reporters during a meeting with the Pakistan delegation in Bergenstock, US Vice President J.D. Vance said that the US intends to transform the Middle East as Iran has been a driver of regional instability.
Than it was 10 years ago. And what we're trying to accomplish here is very simple. Through diplomacy, through working together to transform the Middle East, where Iran and the Gulf have been at war with each other, or at least have had very unfriendly relations. Iran has been a driver of regional instability. Now we see a future where everybody can work together to promote peace and prosperity for everyone.
He added that the US is willing to fundamentally transform relations with Iran.
What the president has asked us to do is turn over a new leaf, to transform our relationship with the people of Iran and to extend an outstretched hand that says to the people of Iran that if your leadership is willing to give up being a driver of regional instability, if they are willing to give up nuclear weapons ambitions for the long term, then the United States is willing to fundamentally transform our relationship with that country. That is certainly our goal.
Speaking on Lebanon, he said that the Qataris, the Pakistanis and US's friends in Israel are all working toward regional peace.
Well, first of all, we've seen great progress over the last just couple of days in ensuring that the ceasefire holds in Lebanon. These things are always a little bit messy. If you go back to how much was happening 3 months ago and compare it to 3 weeks ago, great progress has been made. If you go back to 3 weeks ago to 3 days ago, additional progress has been made. The president has committed us to see a full regional ceasefire. We found great partners in working with the Qataris, the Pakistanis, our friends in Israel. We're all working towards regional peace. There, of course, are going to be sometimes disagreements about precisely how to get there, but I actually feel great about where we are in Lebanon. There's still some additional wood to chop, but we're going to keep on working at it.
Meanwhile, Iran's delegation, led by Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf and Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, arrived in Switzerland early this morning for talks. IRNA reported that Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi met his Swiss counterpart in the first official program of the Iranian delegation in Switzerland. The Iranian delegation thereafter met with the Pakistan delegation led by Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif on the implementation of the MOU. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Army Chief Asim Munir, as well as Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Rahman bin Jassim Al Thani, are also taking part in the peace negotiations in Bergenstock, Switzerland.
Iran's delegation seek implementation of MOU.
Just before taking off from Tehran and heading for Switzerland, the chief negotiator for Iran, Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, said that this visit to Switzerland does not mean the start of the technical talks, however acts as a reminder to the Americans that first they need to implement or at least initiate the implementation of the new MOU, and that the technical talks are going to take place once the Americans accept it. His reminder comes in reference to Article 1, Article 4, Article 5, Article 10 and Article 11 of the agreement, which includes the cessation of hostilities in Lebanon, the lifting of the US maritime blockade, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, the release of Iranian frozen assets, and of course the lifting of US sanctions when it comes to Iran's oil sector, petrochemical products and related sectors. Meanwhile, Ismail Baghi, spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry, said, quote, "The Zionist regime continues to violate its commitment in Lebanon. This issue will be the main topic of discussion in today's talks. The issue of making available Iran's frozen or restricted assets, as well as the discussion related to issuing the necessary licenses for the sale of Iranian oil, will also be on the agenda." End quote.
Situation in the Strait of Hormuz.
US President Donald Trump has pledged there will be no tolls for passage through the Strait of Hormuz unless they are collected by his own country. Excerpt.
There will be no tolls in the Hormuz Strait for 60 days during the ceasefire period, and there will be no tolls after the 60-day period has expired, unless they are imposed by and for the United States of America.
End of excerpt. Trump's statement on Truth Social is the latest sign that a recently signed memorandum of understanding may be unraveling. Under the terms of Wednesday's ceasefire memorandum, the strait is supposed to reopen for an interim period of 60 days. During that time, Iran is barred from charging vessels for passage. On Saturday, however, Iran's Joint Military Command said it had closed the Strait of Hormuz, citing a clear breach of the memorandum's commitments. The reason behind the closure was Israel's continuous strikes against southern Lebanon.
Israel-Lebanon conflict.
Israeli forces have killed dozens of people in Lebanon despite the ceasefire, with at least 6 soldiers killed and 20 others wounded over the past few days in Hezbollah attacks. Israeli media earlier reported that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered invading troops to hold fire in Lebanon, excluding in the battle raging on Lebanon's Ali al-Tahrir Hills near Nabatea. Meanwhile, Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz, contrasting to Israeli Prime Minister's stance, has said that the Israel military will not withdraw from the security zone in Lebanon. Israel Katz declared there is no restriction on soldiers operating in Lebanon.
The Export Development Board says that despite the global economic difficulties arising from the military conflicts in the Middle East, the country's exports have shown a 6% growth during the first 4 months of 2026. The growth has been recorded in comparison to the same period last year.
The export income earned during the first 4 months of 2026 is recorded at $5.8 billion. In the month of April alone, a notable revenue of $1,380 million was earned through exports. Of the April export earnings, $1,063 million was generated from merchandise exports, while service sector revenue accounted for $317 million. The highest export income in history was recorded last year with a total of $17.3 billion. Chairman of the Export Development Board, Mangal Vijay Singh, has stated that the target for this year is $20 billion. According to officials, the National Export Development Plan is currently being implemented, and its objective is to reach an income target of $36 billion by the year 2030. A staff delegation from the International Monetary Fund is scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka on the 24th of June. The IMF mission chief to Sri Lanka, Evan Papageorgiou, said the delegation will remain in the country until the 30th of June. Papageorgiou said the mission will engage with the authorities and a broad range of stakeholders to take economic developments and to review Sri Lanka's economic reform program performance.
Former State Intelligence Service Chief Suresh Saleh, held under a detention order in connection with the Easter Sunday terror attacks, continues to receive treatment at the National Hospital of Colombo. The National Hospital of Colombo says that although he is not consuming solid food, he is being provided with continuous nutritional supplements. These nutritional supplements are being administered to him intravenously and via a feeding tube. He remains under the supervision of the specialist doctors and his treatment is ongoing.
SJB MP Mujibur Rahman says investigations aimed at uncovering the mysteries surrounding the Easter Sunday terror attacks must be allowed to proceed without any interference or obstruction.
We have also continuously stood by the need that this invisible force behind the Easter Sunday attack must be exposed. It has been confirmed based on certain testimonies in the Presidential Commission report that there is an invisible force involved in the attack. Even the former Attorney General has confirmed this. That is why we are also in the understanding that this must be investigated. The current government also made promises during the election. Now they are carrying out investigations. The former intelligence chief has been arrested as a suspect and is being investigated. We are closely monitoring the investigation to see what will unfold. In his statement to the Presidential Commission, even the former intelligence chief has stated that there is a mastermind behind the Easter Sunday attack. This is his statement. You can also read it. So what more is there to say? Who is that group? Who is that invisible force? Even if we come to power, we too will investigate it. We too made a pledge to the Catholic Church. Sajid Premadasa has also presented a program in that regard under Sajid Premadasa. The government also made promises. Now they are conducting the investigation. We have no need or intention to disrupt or sabotage that investigation because we also want the truth of this to be revealed to the country.
Deputy Minister of Provincial Councils and Local Government Ruan Senarat said that if Suresh Saleh is really an honest official as he claims to be, then it's his duty to hand over the relevant data required by investigators.
Recently, we have seen Saleh going on a fast unto death. At the same time, the Ministry of Health has intervened, and particularly hospital officials and doctors are providing him food through a nasogastric tube and administering injections. Those treatments are ongoing. He has only refused to take food orally. Otherwise, nutrition is being provided to his body in other ways. However, the government did not instruct him on any of his actions. At no point did we ask him to begin a hunger strike by the government. What we are asking and what the security forces are requesting from him is to provide the information contained in his computer and to extend the necessary cooperation. Nothing else. We never asked him to go on a hunger strike. At times, a certain public narrative is being created as if the government is pressuring him into a hunger strike. That is not true. He has personally decided to refuse food and has taken it to the point of saying he will not accept food even if it leads to death. If he is an honest officer, I have seen some MPs, including Dayasri and others, publicly stating that information related to possible future terrorist activities is contained in Saleh's laptop or computer, and that is what is being sought. If such information exists, then it is the duty of an honest officer to provide it. Otherwise, by not providing it, the country and the public could face future danger. When viewed in that way, there are similarities between past incidents and what is being said now. That means those past incidents are also connected to this. Therefore, we say, do not panic. If Saleh is an honest officer who cares about the country, and if there is a risk of danger to the country, then he should consider the country and hand over the information. That is what is being requested by the Ministry of Defence and the Judiciary. No one else. The Ministry of Justice. He is not being held under the LTT or any such group. He is under the custody of the judiciary or the security authorities. He is not in any external place. Therefore, We say he should think carefully and make the right decision. We have seen cases where we already knew who the culprit is even before they were proven wrong. Some people were quick to say, "Don't arrest me, please help me with this case." People can understand what is happening. The public is not that weak. They can understand what the final results of the investigations is going to be.
The Court of Appeal has dismissed the writ petition filed by Daya Group Private Limited and Daya Apparel Export, which challenged the People's Bank decision to sell mortgage properties by public auction under Parate execution powers. The petition was heard before a bench comprising Court of Appeal judges R. Gurusingha and Dr. Sumadu Premachandra.
The Court of Appeal has ruled that the People's Bank has the legal right to proceed with the recovery of defaulted loans by auctioning mortgaged properties pledged as security for outstanding debts exceeding $1.42 million. The petitioners had sought writ orders of certiorari, prohibition and mandamus to invalidate a resolution passed by the bank's board of directors authorizing the sale of the mortgaged properties through a public auction. Delivering its judgment, the court rejected the petition and affirmed that People's Bank is legally entitled to continue the debt recovery process. The court also ordered the petitioner companies to pay 1 million rupees in legal costs. The petitioner companies argued that they had encountered severe financial difficulties due to a series of unprecedented events, including the 2019 Easter Sunday attacks, the COVID-19 pandemic, the fuel crisis and political instability, all of which had adversely affected their ability to repay the loans. They further alleged that People's Bank had unlawfully exercised its Parate powers under the Banking Act and had unfairly increased the debt by applying excessive foreign exchange rates. The companies also contended that the auction process was procedurally flawed, claiming they had not been properly served with the mandatory statutory notices. However, the Court of Appeal dismissed all these arguments and upheld the bank's right to continue the recovery proceedings. People's Bank, which strongly opposed the petition, informed the court that several opportunities had been granted to the borrowers to restructure the loans and that the auction had been postponed on multiple occasions. Despite these concessions, the borrowers had repeatedly defaulted on their repayment obligations. The bank also argued that the petition was not maintainable under Section 29D of the People's Bank Act, which prohibits borrowers from challenging resolutions relating to the exercise of Parate powers. Delivering the judgment, Justice Sumadu Premachandra noted that the resolution being challenged had been passed in March 2021, yet the petitioners had filed their writ application only in November 2022, more than 1 year and 8 months later. The court observed that the petitioners had failed to provide satisfactory reasons for the significant delay and had not acted diligently in asserting their rights. Accordingly, the court ordered that People's Bank is fully entitled to continue with the auction of the mortgaged properties to recover the outstanding debt in accordance with the resolution adopted on the 26th of March 2021.
Minister of Industry and Entrepreneurship Development Sunil Hadarnetti says that corrupt individuals who misused their mandate are now harboring hatred towards the government. He made these remarks while attending the National Student Heroes Day commemoration.
The scoundrels, thieves, they corrupt, the people who robbed public funds, the criminals and those who took the people's mandate and misused it to build family empires and enrich their friends have been through an evolutionary process. We are now in a transitional phase. They are still alive, and those who have lost power are just whining. And what hurts them the most now? They have lost their privileges. The opportunities they once had to steal have been stripped away. They can no longer please their friends. They have lost the ability to misappropriate state property. The security details and entourages that once accompanied them are a thing of the past. They can no longer go to clubs, show off their father's power and get into fights. Such incidents don't happen anymore. They have anger toward us. They have hatred and resentment. This dying generation of corrupt individuals cannot bear it. They think this chair belongs to us and someone has taken it. A common boy from Tamuttegama has taken the chair that we considered our inheritance, passed down from our grandfathers and great-grandfathers. That is why they are constantly conspiring, lying, slandering and mudslinging. They are using the money they have left to do it. Now, what is their biggest problem? The rule of law has been established. They are going to have to go to jail. That is what they cannot endure. Because in the past, when a government was formed, if you crossed over from the opposition to the government, the court cases would jump to the government side too. Then you did not have to go to jail. As long as that government was in power, you stayed and the case would just jump to the next government. So they never had to go to jail. But now the case does not jump to the government side. We don't take individuals into the government and the cases don't disappear. That is why they are afraid now that the law is being enforced. Since we came to power, how many big shots have gone to jail? Mahinda Nanda, Kehili Rampukwella, Sarana, Shan, they were all sent to jail. They said, don't touch Saleh. If you take Saleh, the intelligence services will be destabilized. They said the government would collapse. Well, we took him. Nothing has been destabilized. Now Saleh is the one who is agitated. He says he cannot eat. Whether by feeding him or giving him fluids, the law of the land is being enforced. We took power to fix this country and for nothing else. We have no personal vendettas against anyone.
නීතිය රටේ ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙනවා. මේ රට හදන්න අපි බලය ගත්තේ වෙන මොකටවත් නෙමෙයි. කිසිම පෞද්ගලික ගනුදෙනුවක් අපට නැහැ කාත් එක්කවත්.
The Ministry of Education says that there is no need to revise the dates for the GCE Advanced Level Examination scheduled for August. In a statement, the Ministry of Education mentioned that the GCE Advanced Level Examination will commence as predetermined on the 10th of August.
According to the guidelines issued by the National Institute of Education, approximately 300 days are required to cover the advanced level syllabus. The Ministry of Education announced that for students sitting for this year's GCE Advanced Level Examination, the number of school days from the official commencement of studies until the 7th of August is 343. And for students sitting for the GCE Advanced Level Examination for the second and third time this year, the gap from the date the previous examination results were released until the date of this year's examination is 4 months and 10 days. Accordingly, the ministry announced that there is no need to revise the examination schedule as sufficient time has been allocated for students to prepare for the GCE Advanced Level Examination.
The National Dengue Control Unit says that 681 new dengue cases have been reported within the last 24 hours. Its acting director, Dr. Kapila Karmangara, stated that the highest prevalence of dengue continues to be reported from the Maharagama MOH division.
According to the National Dengue Control Unit, dengue fever is rapidly spreading in the Matara, Gaul and Ratnapura districts, as well as in the Panadura MOH division of the Kalutara district and the Biyagama MOH division of the Gampa district. At present, 112 MOH divisions have been identified as dengue high-risk areas. Meanwhile, dengue patient numbers in hospitals in Colombo and Gampa have reached maximum capacity, and Mathura district has also been included among these overcrowded facilities. So far this year, 46,037 dengue cases have been reported in the country. The National Dengue Control Unit states that this figure shows a clear increase compared to the years 2024 and 2025. Meanwhile, schools, government institutions and religious places have been identified as the most common mosquito breeding sites. During the past few days, 263 schools with mosquito larvae have been identified, while a total of 633 schools have been inspected so far this year. The Dengue Control Week concluded yesterday, and a special discussion on future dengue prevention measures is scheduled to be held tomorrow under the leadership of Secretary to the President, Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Naika. Representatives from all sectors of the health authorities are expected to participate in this meeting.
Weather first.
What's the outlook for the country's weather for today and tomorrow?
We once again cross over to Amitra Birkun for the details.
Yes, Shani and Sandru. Now taking a look at your weather situation, several spells of showers will occur in the western Sabaragamuwa and northwestern provinces, as well as in the Gaul, Matara, Kandy and Nuwara districts. Showers or thunder showers may occur at a few places in Uva and eastern provinces after 2 p.m. Fairly strong winds of about 30 to 40 kilometers per hour can be expected at times over the western slopes of the central hills, northern, north central, northwestern and southern provinces, as well as in the Trincomalee districts. Now, the general public is kindly requested to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporarily localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Meanwhile, showers or thunder showers may occur at several places in the sea areas of the coast extending from Chilla to Matara via Colombo and Gaul. Now, winds will be southwesterly and the wind speed will be 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Wind speed can increase up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour at times in the sea areas of the coast extending from Hambantota to Potuville and from Mullatiu to Putlam via Kankasangture and Mannar.
Weather first.
The prize-giving ceremony for the novice monks who won the All-Island Inter-Pirivene Language and Literary Knowledge Competition organized by the Banagalu Upatissa Pirivena in Pitibedara, Matara was held today. The event was held under the patronage of the Chief Sangha Nayaka for Japan, the Most Venerable Banagalu Upatissa Nayaka Thero.
The program was organized by the Mahasangha led by the administrator of the Banagala Sri Upatissa Pirivena in Matara, Venerable Valalavitananda Thera. The victorious monks were brought to the ceremony in a procession, which was also attended by several philanthropists from Japan. Venerable Atbatuwe Somaloka Thera won first place in the All-Island Pirivena Sinhala Poetry Writing Competition. Venerable Dabaralle Yasassi Thera won third place in the All-Island Pirivena Handwriting Competition Junior Division. Venerable Moravaka Samadhi Vihari Thera won second place in the All-Island Pirivena English Dhamma Sermon Competition Preliminary Division.
Congratulations.
Today is International Day of Yoga. According to the World Health Organization, the theme for this year's International Day of Yoga is Yoga for Healthy Aging. The High Commission of India and Sri Lanka marked the occasion today with a yoga program held in Colombo.
A yoga program organized by the High Commission of India in Sri Lanka took place this morning at the Independence Square in Colombo to mark International Yoga Day 2026. The event was attended by the Indian High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Santosh Jha, Sri Lanka's Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Dr. Rizvi Sali, Deputy Ministers Professor Krishanta Besena, Sundaralingam Pradeep and Nishanta Jaivira, Inspector General of Police, Attorney at Law Priyantha Veerasurya, and the heads of Triforces among many other invitees. This marks the 12th consecutive year that a yoga program has been organized in Colombo to celebrate the International Day of Yoga. Certificates were presented to participating groups, while commemorative mementos were also handed over to chief guests, including the Deputy Ministers, by Indian High Commissioner Santosh Jha. Yoga is recognized as one of the world's oldest and most enduring practices for physical and mental well-being. According to the WHO, it is a holistic discipline that covers physical postures, breath control, mindfulness and meditation, supporting physical fitness, mental health and social harmony. In line with the International Yoga Day, a program was also held at the Bogambra Stadium in Kandy. The event was organized by the Assistant High Commission of India in Kandy. At the invitation of the Assistant High Commission of India, Member of Parliament Thanura Dissanayaka, the Mayor of Kandy and several other officials attended the event. A ceremony to mark International Yoga Day was also held this morning within the premises of the Golf Fort Court Complex. The event was organized by the Consulate General of India in Hambantota. Southern Province Governor Dr. Susiripala Manavadu, the Consul General of India in Hambantota, Havendra Singh and others were in attendance. Meanwhile, the main International Yoga Day program was held today in Kolkata, in India, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
The Lions International District 306D1 held its inauguration district convention alongside the pinnacle of Purpose Awards Night yesterday in Colombo. During the convention, Sirasa Media Network was honored with the title of Most Outstanding Citizen of the Year in the industrial category. It's in recognition for its network's contribution to the industry and the nation.
The inaugural district convention of the Lions International District 306D1 was held last night under the leadership of District Governor Lion Chaminda Hindurangala. The chief guest of the event was past international president Lion Mahendra Amarasuriya. In a special recognition during the awards ceremony, the Sirasa Media Network was awarded for the Most Outstanding Citizen Industrial.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sirasa Media Network.
The award was received by Sirasa TV director Dharma Shri Bandare Ganayaka. The recognition highlighted the excellence in broadcasting, commitment to public service, and its remarkable contribution to the media industry and the nation. The entrepreneurship category of the same award was awarded to Charithan Silva, also known as Wild Cookbook, while the rising sports star of Sri Lanka, Rumesh Taranga, was recognized for his achievements in the sports category of the award. The award was accepted by a representative on behalf of him. Awards to appreciate the efforts of office bearers and other members were also presented at the convention.
Marketing professionals from across Sri Lanka came together yesterday for the Chartered Institute of Marketing Sri Lanka Professional Member Support Committee's Members Fellowship Night 2026.
The event, designed as a refreshing alternative to traditional corporate gatherings, brought together industry leaders, practitioners and emerging talent for an evening of networking, knowledge sharing and fellowship. In addition, the program featured a lineup of distinguished speakers who shared their experiences and insights with attendees. The Members Fellowship Night is regarded as one of the key highlights of CIM Sri Lanka's annual calendar, reinforcing its efforts to build a connected, resilient and vibrant marketing profession in the country.
Sri Lanka's first ever women-only pickleball tournament, Dengue Divas 2026, got underway in Colombo for the second consecutive day today.
Dengue Divas 2026, Sri Lanka's first ever pickleball tournament exclusively for women, was held for the second day today in Colombo. The tournament featured doubles competition across multiple categories designed for different skill levels and age groups. The event aimed to promote greater participation of women in pickleball, particularly encouraging beginners and women over the age of 40 to take up the rapidly growing sport. Sirasa TV is the official media partner of the tournament.
The British Car Day, organised by the Classic Car Club of Ceylon, showcased a remarkable collection of vintage vehicles in Colombo today.
Are you a classic car lover? And right now I'm ready to get inside to a world full of British classic cars. Come with me. So if you go into my left and if you go into my right, this is a full range of classic cars, and this is a day which is filled with a lot of excitement, a lot of history, and every car here and every owner here has a unique story about their car. And more than that, they come here to create memories and also to take those memories to the younger generation, organized by the Classic Car Club of Ceylon. So people come here, they take pictures, and also the rally which goes around Colombo has a very unique identity as well, because you can see all of these British classic cars in one day here in Colombo, going around Colombo, and also they're showcasing these unique British classic cars to the people as well. organized by the Classic Car Club of Ceylon. The event commenced at 8:30 a.m. from Navamavata, which brought together an impressive lineup of British classic cars. The machines then set off on a scenic drive through Colombo, officially flagged off by the British High Commissioner to Sri Lanka, Andrew Patrick. The lineup features a diverse range of motoring history, with vehicles manufactured between the 1950s and the 1980s. Car lovers at the event couldn't hide their excitement, saying it was a rare chance to see so many timeless machines in one place.
So I believe that event like this really showcases how much effort people put into maintaining their classics, into driving them on a regular basis, using them in a world full of electric cars and electric motors. A true classic gasoline-powered car is something that's rare and stylish. So I believe the younger generation will really be motivated by an event like this.
For all the car lovers, the British Car Day 2026 is not just a day, it's something they love. Not just a celebration, it's a memory and also a stronger message that they share to the younger generation. To keep these vehicles not just as vehicles, but a piece of memory and a piece of history in their heart. They come here, they create memories, and they take it forward to the younger generation about the importance of restoring and keeping all of these British cars in their heart.
The Roshan Mahanama Trust held its annual fundraising event for the third consecutive year, aimed at supporting education, healthcare, child protection and emergency relief initiatives across Sri Lanka.
The Roshan Mahanama Trust successfully held its annual musical celebration for the third consecutive year, named as Hopes of Harmony, bringing together supporters and well-wishers to raise funds for a range of community-focused initiatives. The funds raised through the event will be directed towards 4 key areas of the Trust's work. These include providing educational opportunities and a better future for children from low-income families, supporting children with health-related needs, and empowering young people with the skills and resources required to build successful futures.
Sandru, football has truly captured global attention in recent days.
That's right. Let's take a look at that along with some other major sporting headlines from the FIFA World Cup 2026 and sporting arenas around the world. Let's take a look at these details with Stevin.
Well, yes, Sandru and Chalani. Now, the action continued at the 2026 FIFA World Cup today with another round of exciting matches. Germany and Japan managed to secure victories in their respective games, while the match between Ecuador and Curacao ended in a draw. Here's a closer look at those details. ICC Women's T20 World Cup is currently underway in England. In today's match, West Indies defeated Sri Lanka by 5 wickets, clinching victory.
Winning the toss, West Indies women elected to field first against Sri Lanka women. Batting first, Sri Lanka women lost 6 of their top order wickets for just 58 runs. Nilakshika Silva top scored for Sri Lanka with 30 runs. West Indies captain Hayley Matthews picked up 3 wickets. Sri Lanka women were eventually bowled out for 98 runs in 19.4 overs. Chasing a target of 99, the West Indies women secured a victory with 16.1 overs to spare, finishing on 5 wickets down. Stephanie Taylor remained unbeaten on 27 runs, guiding her side to a comfortable win.
India A clinched the Tri-Nation ODI Series title with a commanding 66-run victory over Sri Lanka A in the final. Let's take a look.
Batting first at the Rangiri Dambulla International Cricket Stadium, India A posted a massive 377 for 9 in their 50 overs. Vaibhav Suryavanshi starred with 94 runs, including a blistering half-century of just 11 deliveries, the fastest 50 recorded in an 18-match format. Chasing a target of 378, Sri Lanka were bowled out for 311 runs in 47.1 overs, falling short as India A dominated the contest to lift the championship.
And with that, we wrap up Primetime News for tonight.
Thank you for watching. Good night.